Good evening, everyone. Hopefully, the ones who had attended the previous day workshop are here, and all those who are joining us here today, I want to welcome them all here at Experts Edge, where we work upon students' skill sets so that they can crack national and international repute examination. And here today, I'm going to talk about majorly verbal ability as a core component which is kept in the examinations which are meant for management entrance, right? So just give me a second. Yeah, everything is fine. Vihang, I can see Satyansh. Good evening, Manoj. All right. I can see all of them. They were there in the previous day. Yes, they were there. All right. I want that you should be able to feel connected with what was taken up in the previous session. And I will again tell you, or I'll re-emphasize onto the idea of taking verbal ability as a skill set and not learning mugging up or cramming rules. Okay. So if you really want to work upon your verbal ability as a whole, you should be very clear with as to what is it, I mean, why is it kept in the examination, and what are the basic attribute associated with one's personality or one's ability which is asked therein examination. So the other day also I told you people that there are majorly three. Okay, the category of questions belonging to this specific domain that is named as general English or verbal ability section. So there are majorly three category questions asked. One is vocabulary based question, other is grammar based question, and the third is paragraph based question. This we have already dealt in the previous session. So just to name and make you acquainted and linked with what was taken up, so that the questions when I make you handle now, you feel connected with, right? So with a very objective, giving you a quick overview of things. Okay. Now, in the section again today, I'll be taking up only functional grammar based questions. Functional grammar based questions, why? Because this is one such a specific category which troubles students because they feel sort of a disconnect with what they know and what exactly now they need to add on to what they know. And even if they have now learnt the added on a version also, they don't know how to apply it. Okay, and where they're going wrong in their picking up option of the multiple choice question category, and the trouble becomes double, or it exists in its multitude form if it is a theta question. Now theta is type in the answer, where you are not given the multiple choices for each question. You just have to type in the answer. There is a specific category question though, but here I will be majorly focusing on functional grammar based questions as a part of study today. Hopefully you all are ready. Just give me a thumbs up if you're ready. Oh, yes. Vihang is saying, ma'am, we hardly forget skills, but mugged up things do. Okay. See, there has to be smart way in between the two things. Like you do mug up. You obviously you need to memorize things. Okay. It's like you have to keep certain concepts in your memory. Okay, so that you are able to use them when it is needed. Though I have a complete study done on this in this domain, where as to when we undergo a process of anything new to learn, what happens there. I'd been a student of psychology too, so I could have taken up a detailed session on it. But since we have limited time, I'll just tell you that yes, you need to devise a method which is a midway wherein you are able to smartly make the knowledge that you cram function for you when needed. As simple as this. ठीक है, आपने इतना स्मार्ट बनना है that you're able to utilize, you have to train your brain to give you the best of the output. As simple as this. And there are ways and means to do that, and hopefully I'll be able to deliver one today. Okay. All right. So quickly taking a look at what are the major components which are tested in functional grammar based questions. If you people have forgotten, I'm giving you a quick review of the same in form of the basic formula, the abbreviated form of all the components. That was RIMPACT, and in the previous session I had detailed you about each component with certain examples, and the examples which you could easily get along and you can understand what exactly is tested. Okay, still, if you have any problem, you can go back to the previous recorded version of our live, and then you can get back to this live and get connected for the further question solving if you're not watching it live and you want to confirm your answer choices later. Okay, yeah, Pintu, I can see you. Good evening. Fine then. So, is there anything on this chart that you want me to explain you once all over again? If it is just giving you 30 seconds, because this is what I've seen, that usually the information takes to a transfer or transition to reach to you. So 30 seconds I'm waiting for you people. If there is anything in specific that you want me to explain here on this chart, I give you 30 seconds to decide and send it here in the chat box so that I can begin with question handling further. 30 seconds to you. Nikhil, good evening. Yes, Shashank, good evening. Anything, any of the concept mentioned here on screen in this slide you want me to explain, or I bombard questions on you now on? Now, those who are new, I want to tell them, see, we'll be discussing questions one by one. And the pattern that I have decided for this workshop is I'll display a question, and all these questions are previous year questions. Okay. So, in just after the question, you would see the year it was asked in the examination. And most of these are from SNAP, right? Because SNAP, I feel, is the bigger umbrella of covering majority of concepts. So, I took in specific questions from this examination. If you're preparing for this, you can eventually qualify, or you are actually preparing and covering majority of concepts, so you'll be able to do it. In specific, if you think, then you can get back to us. We'll take up a session on that, or we will plan and include certain question of the different examination as well. But from my side, I have done my best. There is any requisition, let me know. Okay, Vihang is saying, please do provide us a list of idioms and phrases and prepositional idioms if possible. Yes, I do have one. I'll see that how can I make it reach to you people. And one more thing I want to tell you. It is not about the resource. See, you click it these days what you don't have, you have everything, sea of information available to you on a single click. Okay, gone are the days when we studied in our time. We had to sit and look for things in library, sitting hours and hours there. But you people are lucky that you have see information. The difficulty here is what to pick and what not to. Okay, this the optimum utilization of the resources that you people have in form of sea of resources that I said available online. I want you should be concentrating only on two segments. If it is idioms and phrases, in specific I'm talking about it. What I tell my students is, whenever you are preparing for idioms and phrases, first thing is you look for resource. What resource? So that resource should be of any standard publication, first thing first. Okay, which has least chances, though there are one or two errors in each each publication book, but if with least errata, there you should go for that. And then from there, you should divide your preparation for idioms into two forms, two pattern. One is you are learning certain number. Say suppose you picked up a book which had 500 plus odd idioms. very common ones which are asked in examination. Go for any good book of competitive examinations only. All right. Here on this platform, I cannot name any because that would be considered that I'm publicizing or have taken some, kind of a commission for doing so. But truly speaking, I do have a certain name handy with me, so you can get in touch with the uh, moderator here. I'll convey to him or her, and then you can get that book also. So here, suppose there are 500 plus odd idioms. You decide 3 days for yourself to mug those in the numbers, like every day 20 or 20 plus idioms you'll go through, you'll learn them. And 3 days in a week, you decide to test yourself irrespective of the lot that you have learned. Like suppose Monday you're learning, Tuesday you put yourself to test. So in the test, suppose you took 20 question, only one out of the lot that you learned came in those 20 question. So one would be the score for you, and 19 would be new learning, new words that you'll be learning. So this way you'll cover and test yourself simultaneous. Okay, so there are students who do mistakes, like they go on mugging up. They believe that unless I mug up the entire lot, I'm not going to write the test, because that disheartens me that I have scored less. See, during the preparation stage, scoring less is fine. You should concentrate on the pattern of learning and the things like vocabulary, idioms, phrasal verbs. These are such things which become monotonous after a point of time, if you invest too much of a time and energy onto it. I hope, Vihang, you are here with me on this point. Yeah, so what I suggest you is 3 days fresh learning, 3 days testing. The purpose is solved in the testing also. The only idea you have to convince your mind is that you don't have to get disheartened in the test if you don't score well. There will come a time after a month, or if you're yes, you have to be, sure that you're onto it, you're doing it holistically, then you're doing it right. So there will come a time after a month, or say 45 days, you would realize that you have come to a benchmark wherein you have started scoring more because you have covered a lot. So this, there will come a stage, and this is what we need. We all need a boost up through our efforts, right? And there is no better way. This is tried and tested technique, and it's not only for Vihang, it's for everyone who invests time and energy onto vocabulary learning, in specific idioms, phrases, and phrasal verbs. All right. So since no further query I have received for the concepts here, I would like to jump to the question. All right. So let me tell you, you'll see a question on screen. Quickly try and solve it. Soon after the question, I'll give you the answer, but I don't want that you should be telling me only the answer. You, to yourself, you should be clear with the concept as to why did you reach to the answer. And as a mentor, I'll help you negate the answer choices more with every possible logic that I can. Okay, that's going to be our mode of learning. So, one question at a time you'll get to see on screen to solve. Are you all set? Ready? Give me a thumbs up if you're done. Yes. Okay. Should I begin with it? Are you all set? Okay. So, Nikhil says yes. Mayank says yes. Okay. So, this. This is the question which was asked in the year 2018. The options given below combine a form of meaningful sentence. Identify the erroneous statement from among the options. Okay. We last time we solved one such question. If you remember, I told you that it is easier to pinpoint a mistake in such kind of a questions because it is already segmented for you to cover in one eye span. Didn't I tell you? In one go. This is this is a technique in reading. I mean, this I teach my students when I train them for reading, that you have to develop a habit of reading maximum possible words in one eye span so that you can increase your speed. So this thing is already done for you. They are helping you with it. So he made me to wait for him while he changed his coat as it was cold. Now see, the best part over here with reading the instructions, we get to see that the option, each of the option has only one part to be mentioned as erroneous. So okay, Ishika, have you done this? Anyone who could give me the answer of it quickly, quickly? It is confusing for him while he changed his coat as it was cold. Vihang, two modification is confusing. No, it is absolutely correct. Like we can say um, uh, like I make you wait, right? Oh, see, I have told you the answer. I make you wait. Okay, or he made me wait for him, not to wait. We never say to with make as a verb. Here, the concept is yes, Nikhil, one is incorrect. But what is incorrect? This is what I want to tell you. It is a very important concept, and please double star mark it and write somewhere that there is a specific concept known as causative verb in English language. Causative verb is like the expression like, and the ironical part of this is it is not taught in schools. Okay, you just taught about it in form of an expression maybe somewhere or the other, but not under the chapter verb it is ever taught. Okay, so what is a causative verb? Causative verb is actually the verbs which make some other person do something, that gives the expression in this statement that says that's the subject is not the doer of the action. Like I just now instructed you people that please double star mark it and write it somewhere. So somebody from those who are attending my session, they might think, oh ma'am, मैम मेक्स अप राइट अ लॉट, मैम बहुत लिखवाती हैं, ऐसे भी कोई वर्कशॉप लेता है, इतना लिखाया जाता है. ओके, सो यू माइट कंसीडर दैट आई एम द कॉज फॉर यू टू राइट. हु राइट्स? यहाँ पे नोट्स लिखता कौन है? हु राइट्स? यू राइट द नोट. बट what is my job then here? I become the cause for you to write the notes. So, what the expression goes here is I make you write the note. Please understand this. It's going to help you further in your parajumbles also and paracompletion question variety also. I make you write the notes. Now, if I bifurcate this sentence into segments, here I make you write the notes. What is the main action being done? Writing the notes. Okay, this is the main work. Who is doing it? Who is writing? You are writing. Okay, you are the subject of this action. And what are you writing? Notes. So this is the object. But what is my role here then? What? How am I in the expression? What am I doing in the expression? I am becoming the cause for you to write the notes. All right, so I am the subject, and the verb that I'm doing is I'm causing you to do the action. So the presence of the word make is a causative verb. Okay, the other causative verb we have is get. So you can just write here for your learning sake that make is used in the active voice of expression, I make you do, whereas get is used in the passive voice of expression. Such expressions like I suppose I want to say, I get my dupatta embroidered. Okay, I never wear plain dupattas. I get my dupattas embroidered. Now here the main job is embroidery, to do the embroidery. Who does that? Have I mentioned? No. I'm just mentioning that where do I get it from or what do I get? So I get the dupatta embroidered. The dupatta, that is the object, is being placed. So it is in the passive voice. Okay. So get is used in the passive voice, whereas make is used in the active voice. This is the major learning from this question for us as a part of learning. And please remember, now I'm coming to the main point that with causative verbs, we never use to. With causative verbs, we never use to. Please, it's an important concept. First, you understand, let it settle into your brain. try and frame as many as question sentences possible. Still, if you don't get it, just type in causative verbs and you get the detailed see of expressions working for you. So that ways A is incorrect for us. This idea is erroneous. We have to read the sentence, changed his coat and as it was cold. All the three remaining expressions are grammatically correct. Who questioned the second part? Uh, Vihang questioned the second part. Yeah. How is it confusing for you? You always wait for somebody. With the comma, you are adding the other clause while he changed his coat as it was cold. I hope it is clear to you, Vihang, now. Hello? Yeah? All right. I'm command the instructions too. In this pattern, there is usually a sentence given with some part underlined, and you are asked that is there any part that can actually improvise. This specific question category is known as sentence improvement. And these kind of questions, you need understanding and functionality of the question to the next level. It's not about you have to see. It's the easiest job in the world is to pinpoint others or to find something wrong. Okay, you easily can catch the error. But if I ask you, okay, if it is wrong, what better form, what better version can you suggest? So there requires the knowledge. Okay, there you really need to know in what pattern can you make it better, right? So this is what, for doing sentence improvement category, the base knowledge remains the same. You need to know the basics, you need to know the rules, but you need to actually evaluate and weigh each answer choice. You have to genuinely negate each answer choice, and then you have to mark your answer choice in this specific question category, I tell you. So if you're very very sound and you know the things, you should try doing these things. And there are both the things, like in this examination I've seen the difficulty level of such questions is not kept really very high knowingly, because sometimes students get confused between the similar expressions, so they don't keep it really very high. It's a doable thing for most of the students. So my suggestion is you must go for it, because basics you are already through with. So here the winter was such severe. Okay. Ishika, good. Nikhil, I didn't receive your answer as yet. Vihang, okay. Vihang is giving us okay, correct. Very good, Vyang. Vyang is giving us what is needed to be corrected. He is showing us it's telling us the improvement also. As I said, that the students don't usually give. That's wonderful, Vyang. See, the winter was such severe. Whenever we use such is used to talk about the comparison. Okay. And whenever we have that, acha, the other thing, it is used to talk about comparison, but it never has that with it in the expression. The same idea is also said with so, but it always has that with it. And since that is already given in that part of a statement where we find it to be correct, see, we have to find error only the underlined portion. So that means that is absolutely correct as an expression. It is fairly fixed. We have to look for the option that goes with it. So the answer is so severe that. Severe so much is grammatically incorrect. Severe such is again grammatically incorrect. And since there is an improvement, so we have to negate D. Hopefully you have understood. Yes? Okay. So the answer is B. Let's come to next. On the same pattern, we have this question also. Quickly solve this. Yes. The concept that is tested here is preposition. And what did I tell you? Just about the preposition is one such domain, one such category, one such segment of English language, wherein the more you study, the more you feel like there is more to cover. Okay, so this specific chapter needs constant revision. Even if you believe that you know it, you got to revise it at certain interval, so that you can reaffirm yourself that yes, you know it and you are going correct in the right direction with your preparation about it. So preposition बहुत ध्यान से पढ़ना बेटा, और उसको टाइम टू टाइम रिवाइज करते रहना. यहाँ पर तो एक बहुत सिंपल क्वेश्चन है. Okay, yes, you have answered correct. All of you have answered correct. It should be by. Acha, why? What is the difference between in and by as prepositions? Though most of the prepositions have no reason as to why, but a few basic prepositions have. Okay, in as a preposition of place and in as a preposition of time has specific usage. Okay, so in when you used as a time, so you're talking about a duration, and in when used as a place, that is again like if I say the students are in the classroom. So here, what sense am I talking about? The sense of containing or the positioning of somebody somewhere, whereas they are statically positioned, they are not positioned with motion. Okay, so in that case we use in, whereas by is used for the purpose of either doer. If it is being used for persons, it denotes doer, and if it is used for things, so it denotes the resource or source as a thing. Got it? That's why we always use by the train. Yeah, for the train here, for the sense of resource. But you will see that there are other means of transport for which we have fairly fixed other prepositions going on. So I'll not get into detail for the same. The answer is B for this question. Okay, I'm coming to the next. Okay, now this thing. As I told you, people, sometimes it is given with MCQ and sometimes it is given the theta. Okay, so here it was given for you to write the theta way. Okay, though I have already done it for you, but understand how do you have to go with it. The basic sentence structure that goes. All of you, please listen to me very carefully. Today I'm going to give you the formula of a correct sentence structure. The right sentence structure talks about SVOMPTR. Okay, all those who are listening to me very carefully, they must note down. Again, re-emphasizing the idea that I make you write notes. So making, that means causative verb is functional here. SVOMPTR, that means whenever we talk, whenever we constitute a sentence, whenever we frame a sentence, we for sure talk about the subject first, right? Then we talk about the verb. We place the verb. Then we place the object. Then we place how this action was done, the manner. Okay, then we where this action was done. So we place, I mean the place oriented information or relation. Then we place when or how, for how long that action was done. So that means time related information. And then if we have to place why that action was performed, that is to be placed last or the next, the after the time. So this is called reason. I hope you all can understand. SVOMPTR, close your eyes, say it 5 times, that will be settled here forever. And you would always be able to arrange any given sentence in jumbled form into the right sequence forever. Okay, hope you are able to get that. Okay, so You have to be very sure that you are not including spaces here when you type in the answer. There is always a special instruction given, okay? Don't get baffled with this question category. You can always handle it. Uh, Talk of any lengthy statement that comes and sits in this form and formula only. Okay. So the answer is 657319842. Now you understand that what is it? This is one, this is two, and so on. So first of all, if I talk to you people about whom are we talking? Though it is a specific session that I take up in detail, I make you work upon this formula onto certain sentences so that it becomes settled. But here you can work on this specific question only. Okay. Have you all done that? About whom are we talking? Yes. About whom are we talking? We are talking about, see, always at the place of subject either could be a noun or a pronoun. So pick up the noun or a pronoun first of all. Where is the pronoun here? Where is the noun here? Hospital. Either we can begin with hospital or we can begin with we. Okay. Then you look for the verb met. So obviously hospital will not meet, we will meet. Okay. So we has to be the first part, then met. Whom we met? Object. Okay. When, where, everything you place, and you see that the things are taking the form of a real structured sentence on itself. Very good, Vihang. Great. Shall we? Next question. This was again a different category question. And to be very frank, no hard feelings against anyone, or I don't want to be derogatory against those who set the paper for you people, but neither I want to blame the testing body. I am no one to do that. But yes, let me tell you that there are a few questions genuinely present to test your patience and presence of mind. And they're not that actually difficult, but they construct them, or they make them wear such coat or such outer coverage that it seems difficult, whereas such a simple thing they are asking you here with in form of a table they have given. Otherwise you can very well make out what are they asking you to do. In an English test, column A gives a word, column B gives its past participle, and column C gives the code of the pair of the below. Right. Which course should Shamu choose if he is asked to choose the correct pair of words that is corresponding? In nutshell, they're asking you the past participle of verb where. Yes or no? And who does not know it? We are won. Yes. So we all know it. So it is such a simple thing. But the answer is going to be this way, where you have to type in the answer. So it's only different in this way, but it's not difficult. It's just not difficult. It's just different for you. And this is what the student who sees any new format of a question gets baffled in one go. But you have to keep calm. You have to keep your presence of mind active and see what is being asked. Okay, and what is being asked is never very tough if it is made to see or made to look difficult. Always remember this. So again, this was one of the variety that was asked Tita. And after 18, so we don't get snap paper. So I really can't tell you. But if it is asked in any shape and form, and if you have made your basics clear, you will be able to handle the question. Trust me. Okay, I'm coming to the next one. I hope the speed is fine. Okay, let's go. You have to choose the correct option. Again, these are the four pattern of statements which should be used by Kedar to introduce himself. All right, so what should be the right pattern to introduce oneself? Yes. Do we begin with myself or we don't? This also says myself, this also says myself, and this also says myself. This I wanted your input. Okay. All right. Just for a few seconds, I'm waiting for your answer. Please listen to my question. When we introduce ourselves, do we use myself? Do we use myself? You don't know. Actually, myself is self form of pronoun, personal pronouns, which is either reflexive or emphatic. Okay. And yes, we do. Pranav is saying no. Good. Pranav is saying no. Because see, we what do we place at the place of subject? Just now I told you in the previous slide, I told you when I told you the formula, I told you what do we place at the place of subject? Either a noun or a pronoun can become the subject. Okay, and when we already have this as noun there, so we don't use it. Do we use it? So what will be the answer? None of the above. Okay, then how should one introduce oneself? This is asked in this pattern. But if you were to answer this thing in form of a FIB question, fill in the blank आपसे पूछा होता तो आप कैसे करते? What should have been the right pattern? Very good. Pranav is saying I is used as a subject. Very good. There are two ways. See, if you are beginning with I, you say I am Kedar. Okay. Okay. And I belong to Mumbai. Belong to Mumbai or belong from Mumbai? What? Or the better would be I'm Kedar from Mumbai or I hail from Mumbai. There is other way. I would since I'm concentrating more on pronouns first, so I'll tell you that I either you say I or you say this is. This goes more in the informal or casual context. Okay. For formal meetings and introductions, we say you should always begin with I. Okay. Or if you want to go really verbose in your expression, lengthy, so I would like to introduce myself as so and so, then you can go ahead with that, but that's not needed. Okay. What is considered accurate and apt and improvised pattern of expression is the least usage of words. Okay, uh, the more precise you are, the better it is for you. So you have to learn to talk with using less words. Okay, so any two of the patterns are correct here. So the answer is none of the expressions are correct. Okay, this. Very, you can see these kind of questions. These are from 2015 now. You can see the year mentioned here. So, see, such common things, such common sense, uh, usage. That's something that we use. We that's the part of our lingua franca. What is lingua franca? By the way, I am to take up vocabulary also, a few session on vocabulary. So there I'll teach you. There are certain foreign words which are asked in examination. That's the part of our conversation these days, and they are formally introduced and accepted in English language. Lingua franca is one of this. Lingua franca is our day-to-day language and conversation. Okay, so such common things which are tested are the part of our lingua franca. That means our day-to-day conversation. Now see here, it is 2 p.m. in the afternoon is correct. It is 2 p.m. or it is 2 p.m. in the noon or it is 2 o'clock in the afternoon. What is correct? ये तो सबको आता होगा. Come on. Got Nikhil. Vihang, you have also answered correct, but Nikhil is giving us the explanation. B, because if it's 2 p.m., then it afternoon, no need for an extra mention. Okay, correct. Acha, by the way, what is PM? What does PM stand for? Vihang or Pranav? Any one of you please answer. What does PM stand for? Without Googling it, you have to tell me instantly. Yeah, are you sure, Nikhil? You are the first one to answer though. It's yes. Prime meridian. Prime or post? Check that up. Nikhil, check that up. Okay, anyways, as I said that I have to concentrate only on grammar questions and grammar for format of questions only. So we'll talk about the questions which are based on vocabulary in the coming workshops. It is saying D is correct. Pranav was correct, Nikhil. Pranav was saying B was correct. It is 2 p.m. Nikhil was not sure. Okay, see, beta, whenever you are saying in the usual and formal context, you when you're asked to tell the time of the day, okay, 2 p.m. is whatever you mention as p.m. am is actually mentioned in form of a schedule somewhere. Always remember, you've seen, suppose you're sending an invitation card. Okay, so invitation card has certain specific details in form of specific format as to date, day, time, and venue, right? So they are specific pieces of information to be mentioned this way somewhere. So you mentioned AM and PM there, but if you have to tell someone the time orally, you cannot say it is 2 p.m. You have to say it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, or the most appropriate, as this is the question, had this been there for the improvised pattern of or in form of sentence improvement, it would have been asked, so you were to add by my watch. Suppose you're going passing by, somebody asks you what's the time, you have to say it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon by my watch. Or even if you don't mention it in the afternoon, you, since you know what part of what sphere of the day that you are into in, you can always skip that also. I hope I'm able to handle this. See, if you see the variety of questions that I've picked up are making you revise so many things associated with English grammar. Okay, and I'm trying my level best to give you the sum and substance of the entire chapter in form of a question and its application. I hope I'm able to do justice. What is this anti Vihang? No, no, no. AM is not anti, it's ante. AM is ante. Well, you people want me to take up vocab today itself, huh? It's ante meridian. Ante is a root which means before. Okay, that's ante meridian. So we'll talk about it in detail next. Let me take up maximum questions on grammar today. But then since you asked me, so I've told you when. Okay, next. 17 and 18 has the same direction. Please read the instructions. Always, you must be very open minded and mentally present to read the instructions. If you miss to notice any one part in the instructions, you are going to go disastrous in your attempt. Please remember. What is it asking you to do? In the following questions, parts have been underlined. If any rule of correct English is violated, then it could be only in the underlined part. They have mentioned it in capitalized bold form and format, that you have to seek for the portion which is underlined. There is some error only in the underlined portion of the segment. So mark 1, 2, 3, or 4 as your answer. Choose the option which violates usage of correct English. So whether it's only 1, or it's 1 and 3, or it's only 3, or it's only 4. So in any case, you'll have to read the sentence. So the best way and pattern is to read the sentence, and good for you. In form of I span procedure, where there is only one or two words to be read together, but you have to see the interconnectivity also. Like, my parents are Indians, but I am born in Sydney. So please remember, yeah, a few students get confused here in these kind of questions, that one is this. No, one is not this portion. One is the portion this. The number is always given after the part, okay? So always given. In most of the cases, they might change their pattern. I don't blame me then. You have to be mentally that present that you see. They might give you one, then oblique, then the part, and then two, then oblique, then the part. So you have to be very sure that you keeping your presence of mind there, and you are seeing accordingly. So since the number is mentioned here, so if we pick one, that means this portion is wrong. If we pick two, then this only, there is something error in this. If we pick three, there is some error in this. And if I'm so sorry. If it is three, then there is no error ideally. In three, there is no error. No, they are. Oh, I have not made it. There is an error in this. Okay, I actually, when I framed it, I forgot to make it red. Good, I have this red ink pen here. Okay, so one is for this. Are Indians, but is 2, I am is 3, and born in Sydney is 4. So tell me which part has the error. Shetakari Raja is saying, see, that means only 3 is wrong. Okay, please try. All of you try. Pranav, I want the answer here. Vihang, quickly, quickly. Waiting for your response. Hmm. Nikhil is also saying C. It is such, I tell you, you people, I told you, no, you people are smart. But what happens? Smart people make careless errors. See, do we ever use a capital letter here? How could you miss that? Parent is a proper noun. Is that a proper noun that you should be capitalizing it as? I mean, you should be mentioning it in beginning with the capital letter. No, it has to be small p. Nominative case. Yes, my parents are Indians, but I was born in Sydney. Now, please listen, listen. In that case, what is going to be the answer? Yes. What should be the answer? Yes. How and why? We have seen that. Okay, come to next. 18th. Same pattern it is. Now, this time I want you to solve it quickly. Yes, Nikhil, it will be B. For 18th, now you answer, please. We are over with 17th. Answer for 18th question. See, I have a target of 20 questions for the today. I should be able to cover 20, if possible, more than that. That's up to you. Be quick. B. Okay, Shatkari is saying B. B has on the top of the tower. So on the top of something is the right phrase. On the top of something. And now if that something is specific one, so you need to say that thing in form of the plus a common noun. It is correct. It is a correct expression. Vihank is saying uh, one because it needs a subject to modify. Standing on the top of the tower. So it has no standing where? On the top of the tower. Very good, Shetkari. Good. Review this. See, standing on the top of the tower, the whole city could be seen. Vihang, why your logic of correcting the sentence is actually correct, but you are not able to see that this entire expression is in the passive voice, so you need not to have the subject to define the verb standing here. The participle that is being used here does not need a subject because it is mentioned in the passive voice, like standing on the top of the tower, I can see the whole city. If you mention it this way, standing on the top of the tower. So who is standing on the top of the tower? I. Then I have to place I. But then in that case, this entire sentence would take the form of an active voice statement. I can see the whole city, or I could see, it's past tense. So I could see the whole city, but it's not so. It is in the passive voice. Who's standing on the tower? It's not mentioned. It's a sentence just stating the attribute of some place. Standing on the top of the tower, the whole city can be seen. Like suppose you're talking about Jaipur. I don't know if you people have been to. I've been there. So there from the fort, if you want to have a view of the entire city, so standing on the top of the tower there in the fort, the whole city could be seen. Okay, that's the expression in the passive voice. So you don't need a modifier nor the subject in this case. Vihang, I hope you are able to get me here. I have given you the expression both ways. Yes, give me a thumbs up if you have understood, Vihang. Okay. So these were the questions of year 2015. Hopefully, yes, I have picked up a few questions from 2014 also. Okay, Vihang replies, he's got it. Wonderful. One more question in the very category. Yes, it is a good question. You know, which chapter are we revising here? You remember I gave you C, comparison and conjunction. The C we are working upon here. Good, good. I'm happy that you're responding well and you are able to synchronize yourself with the pattern of questions that I'm giving you, and you are improving. Very good, Vihang. Good. You're making the correction also. Nikhil, great. I have not received answer from you, Shatkari, as yet. Pranav. Okay. See, Ganesh is taller than quickly giving you the revision of the rule. Whenever we use a comparative degree adjective, we use than with it. That's for sure and absolutely correct as a conjunction going. Ganesh is taller than Ramesh, but. So here, but means you're bringing in a contrast in the statement and the expression of the statement. So Anoop is more taller. You have already used the comparative degree and you are using introducing you are introducing but here in the context, so you don't have to talk about the comparative degree adjective now, you have to talk about the superlative degree now. So it should be is the tallest. Yes, more x. Okay. More should be omitted. Yes, correct. Acha, one more rule we have learned here. This is one simple sentence that you know. One more rule you need to revise over here is we never use two comparative degree adjectives in expression. We never use two comparative degree adjectives in one expression. Like taller is comparative and more as a modifier is being used to talk about the comparison only. So both the comparative degree adjectives cannot be used in one expression. So this is one more the rule that we have revised here with this question. Okay, so the last question of the day. No, it's 15 only. We have not reached to 14th. I have a few more questions. Please, here in the chat box, mention what do you want the next session on. You want the questions like this or you want vocabulary? Please do let me know. I have a few more questions of this grammar with me. You want a vocabulary or you want this or you want a mixed bag? What do you want? Please do mention in the chat box so that we can decide about the plan ahead. I requested you people the previous session also, only one or two responded. I want you to respond, okay? Because it's meant for all, it's not meant for one or two individuals only. We are conducting these workshops so that it can benefit majority of students at their 11th hour of preparation. Yes, quickly, quickly. What does the uh, it's the same. Read each of the components of the given sentences and mark the component with grammatical error wherever you find. Acha, Vihang is saying both vocab and mixed bag. Okay, all right. Pranav is saying A is the answer. Root words. I'll pick up questions wherein there is the application of root words. If I come to teach you root words now, it will not be of much use to you, Vihang. Yeah. But still, if you are interested, I'll introduce the concept. Okay. But the last minute preparation should be such where you are working upon your concepts that you already know. Okay. You should not be learning anything new at the 11th hour. My suggestion to you. But if you need it, I can take that up. I have no problem. Okay. Very good. He is capable of something. Now, why, if you ask me, there is no reason to why. Because it is a set preposition that says a person when has something in his capability. So that this idea is expressed as he is capable of something. Rather, I want to tell you, all of you, one more point to note down and make notes about. Make notes that helps you, and trust me, if you are studying English language, I don't know, maybe I'm sounding boastful here, but I say boastfully, if you're learning English grammar and basic concepts from me in form of a regular capsule course, and you're making note of each thing, and you keep that notebook handy forever with you, you can qualify any examination that that you have to face in your entire professional journey ahead, because rules remain the same, logics remain the same. It's just that how do you compile them in form of a study material, that really matters. And if you have that thing with you, you'll be thanking me later in your life. Then I'm telling you. So one such rule I'm telling you here, whenever we talk about the phrases coining, phrase बनते कैसे बेटा उसको समझो. जो फ्रेज है वो है टू बी केपेबल ऑफ समथिंग. जो पूरा फ्रेज है दैट इज टू बी केपेबल ऑफ समथिंग. तो जब भी कोई पर्सन की केपेबिलिटी में कोई चीज होती है, somebody has something in his capability, so we say that that person is capable of something. so changes कहाँ कहाँ आते हैं? टू बी वर्ब में चेंज आते हैं. प्रेजेंट में वो इज एम आर हो जाता है. दिस इज एम आर. फॉर पास्ट इट इज वॉज एंड वर्ब. Okay, and for future it is will be, shall be. I hope you know this. To be form of verb, how it functions according to tense, right? And whatever you are capable of, please, I want you to note it specifically. Whatever you are capable of, like here there's something, that action has to be in ing form of verb. That action has to be in the ing form of verb of the same. Okay, so whatever you are capable of, the action that has to be in the ing form, like you can see here, twisting. So I am capable of bringing grammar concept to the level of functionality and then make it reach to you in form of a logic. So again, I boasted of myself. Pardon me for this. Just to make you get along the concept, I said this statement. But the bottom line is, if you learn the pattern of coining phrases, you will never go wrong in its application, and you will be confident of using it in your language. And if it is used anywhere in an erroneous form, you can very well make it out, because now you know how it is coined, okay, how it functions after coining. So hopefully I could help you people with your last minute preparation. And the idea, see, though we have discussed 10 to 12 questions, but I have made you revise more than 20 concepts with my this day's input. Hopefully you will listen to it whenever you get stuck with any of these concepts, and your doubts would be sorted. If still there are doubts, you can comment in the chat box, and a post it is there. We are streaming afterwards also. I would respond to your queries there. Okay, and if in case needed, we'll get connected again with any of or most of the queries there in the coming sessions and workshop till your examinations are over. So from my side, this is it. Okay, anything you want to say? Anything you want to ask? Okay, Pranav. Okay. All right. Signing off. Bye bye. All the best. I want all of you to prepare